What are you doing? But Emma, it's 3 a.m. What are you doing? Are you playing Battlefront? It's 3 a.m. and are you playing as the Separatists? Not you too. We had a conversation about this as a family. We said this is a no Separatist family. No clankers in this family are allowed. We talked about this. You can't be a Separatist, baby. Okay? She's playing as the Separatist, babe. She's not allowed to do that.
Why?
Because we serve the Republic, democracy.
And?
I don't allow it. I won't allow it. She cannot be serving the Separatists under my household. I cannot allow it to happen.
She can play whoever she wants to play.
No, you cannot. You cannot be a Separatist. I won't allow it at all. Nothing, zilch, no. Perhaps I spoke a little too soon. Babe? Zeke? Hey, let me in. Babe, I changed my mind. Babe.
Hey guys, what is up? So happy to have you here. Absolutely awesome night. Hope you're having an awesome night. Kind of threw my back out earlier helping my father-in-law with their remodel, and you know, it is what it is, but let's get to it. Today we're going to be talking all about Kang the Conqueror and Kang from the Ant-Man trailer, or Kangs, should I say. Because I honestly believe that there is more than one Kang in the Ant-Man trailer. And even more than one Kang in the Ant-Man movie. Possibly 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6. Yeah, I could even see 7 or 8. I'm kind of like Dwight over here. Yeah, what about 6 months? Yeah, that's a real possibility. 7 months. I could feasibly see that. What about 10 Kangs? Yeah, that sounds feasible, possible, definitely. But seriously, Kang is coming. We know Kang is coming. We know Kang is going to be this massive multiversal threat, as well as a massive multi-storyline threat. Where I don't think Kang Dynasty we're going to see time travel, but we will see Kang throughout time, if that makes sense. Kang's obviously going to time travel. Like, but that's not going to be his main thing that's going to occur in the MCU. It's going to be more of him kind of doing what he does best. And what's up, Brian? Good to see you, buddy. Happy to have you on here. Kang doing what he does best, which is just conquering. And honestly, if you have not read the Kang series that came out not too long ago, it's definitely worth the read. Kang has also been a massive part of Venom. And I thought I just had the cover here somewhere. But I guess I did put it away. Oh, shoot. There it is. This beautiful cover. As Venom kind of travels through the universe, and we see all this different stuff going on with his character, Kang ends up popping up. And Kang has been popping up all over the place recently. The whole idea of Kang having his own series was Only Myself Left to Conquer. That was basically the subtitle of it. And it was, like I said, absolutely amazing. Now, there's a few reasons why I believe that Kang is not just one version in this movie. First of all, we see Kang in a couple different lights. We see him with the mask on, face lit up blue. We see the eyes, the eye paint on him. We see him without the mask on at all. And it's almost like, hey, I'm going to kidnap so-and-so, and you're going to steal this from me. And by so-and-so, I mean his daughter, Cassie. And you're going to go steal this from me. And if you don't do it, then I'm going to kill your daughter. Basically, the ramifications. But then you also hear Kang say, and obviously Jonathan Majors is playing all the versions of Kang that we're going to see that we know of. You also hear Kang say that he'll give him more time. And yes, it does happen in similar frames, but is this a different Kang talking about different things? Or, more to the point, is it the same Kang? So, joining us tonight to have this conversation is the Spider's Lair. What is up, buddy? Love the hat.
Greetings, everyone. What's up? Oh, thanks. This is a new Venom hat we're breaking in. We got
like
another
it.
one. It's like a white and black one. Yeah, we're gonna be, we like the fashion, so we're gonna be throwing up different hats from here from time to time. But yeah,
Very cool.
I was very happy with the Kang subject. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so I was just kind of saying, like, it seems like there's more than one Kang in the Ant-Man trailer alone. Like,
And I already know where that.
Go ahead.
I already know where that comes from because I don't know if you remember the first season of Loki at the end. Okay,
Yep.
Now this Kang, I believe, is a multiverse Kang, and I also believe that I don't know if they're gonna follow it this way, but this is a multiverse Kang that worked with the one who remained. Pretty much, it's him, but he's working. They collaborated. I mean, if they're gonna follow what I believe they're gonna follow, they collaborated. This is how Kang has all the knowledge of the future, knows when everything's about to end. He knows everything. That Loki was pretty much what I feel from the little bit of research I was doing is the end of Phase 4 and probably turning into Phase 5 and setting up Kang to be the multiverse villain. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I've been following Kang for the longest, and I feel like this is what I see.
For sure. And, I mean, we see Kang in, like, 3 different suits in this. You see him standing over stuff, and he has the blue face, like I was saying. He's got the war paint with no blue face. And then you see, like, the suit, and the suit kind of looks similar to the one where he's, like, floating and standing with the blue mask and the force shield and all that, but it seems as though there's at least 2 Kangs, possibly 3, that we're going to see in this multiversal Quantumania badass start to the multiversal war.
Right, because that's what a lot of people don't realize too. This is where the multiversal war begins in the quantum verse. Everything is going accordingly, according to the actual law. So from the quantum verse, they're bringing everything up to the multiverse. It has to start at the quantum level. I don't remember exactly why that was, but I know it has to start at the quantum level to kick off the multiversal war.
I wonder if it's because if you started at the quantum level, it can transfer into any universe and nothing has been affected in that universe.
That could be possible based on, like you're saying, the size that it's the quantum universe. So their reality wouldn't be shifted if they went from one quantum universe to the other. But something has to happen in between that travels that we're just not seeing yet. I mean, even with Ant-Man, I mean, there's a lot of craziness going on every time he entered that quantum verse, and every time he came out, he was always messed up. And if I remember correctly, wasn't his mom trapped in there for like decades?
Hope's mom. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yep.
She was trapped in there for decades, and that's how she became the Wasp. Yeah, that's right. See, so it's like, I don't know. I can't really say where this is actually going. I just feel like this is definitely a multiversal Kang, and like I feel the same way you do. It's probably going to be about 3 different Kangs. I just don't know what direction they're really going to go with this yet, because are we getting the end of is this the end of phase 4 or the beginning of phase 5? And that's what they're not clear about. And that's the only thing I don't have about, is I don't have the clarity on. I feel it's going into phase 5. It would only make sense to make Loki like that, because not for nothing. I don't know if you guys watched Loki, but that was actually good, and it does follow all.
Love Loki.
If Disney made all their shows like that, where, I mean, if I was a movie producer and I had, let's say, my own company, and I had a production company that had, TV stuff, free TV stuff, then I have the movie, I would try to tie all that together. Like, I was looking at Supergirl today. I know a little off subject, but I was looking at Supergirl today, and I don't really watch it much. I made a short with her, and I was looking at her, and I was like, yeah, she belongs like in the TV realm, but in the movie she could be like background, Yeah. So I feel like with Loki, I feel that's what that is. It's like, yeah, he's like kind of like, he should be right where he is, but in reality, he's gonna have to come out in the movies regardless. We definitely seeing Loki in this for sure. In one form or another, we definitely seeing it. Oh, I feel that, because Kang and Loki are very tied to each other.
Okay.
I mean, in the old, so I think that you're going to see Loki in this. I'm not sure at what capacity, but I feel he's going to make some kind of pop up in this movie somewhere.
Yeah.
Stay to the end. That's what I tell everybody. You never know. But remember, the like, I don't know if you watched Loki, but
I did.
So Kang
favorite Disney Plus show by far.
I agree. Kang made that organization. You understand? That's Kang's organization. So I feel like I can't see them not having Loki be in this in any way, shape, or form. He has to be here somehow.
Yeah.
Because now he's the one who discovered, like, what the actual Time Lords were and what they actually were doing. They were all false. It was Kang gathering information, So this is gonna be very good. But I like that. You see how the show now can play off to the movie, because this is the introduction of Kang the Conqueror.
Yep.
And a lot of people aren't familiar with that,
Yeah.
Kang the Conqueror is basically like he's the man, the futuristic man. He knows everything. He knows he dies the last day of the universe. A lot of people don't know that his life ends when the universe ends. Like if you look at him sharing the knowledge of the one left behind, which is pretty much in like the Marvel comic universe, they're Jesus Christ. But it's him. Okay. He's just a different version of himself. He's from another dimension, but recognizes this instead of having war. Because remember, he's King the Conqueror. He didn't have war with the knowledge that he shared. I don't know if they're gonna touch on that. I really hope they do, because that will bring everything to full circle. The Loki thing's just a little weird how I did the multiverse, but I can understand them having to do it that way, because let's face it, the way that the property is, you have to split it up somehow. Yeah. And the multiverse is like I won't say a lazy way of doing things, but you have an established title. And like I always said, don't mess with
Mhm.
the original characters, Kang, what's good about Kang is he's from the future, which means he's almost like the Joker. His background is varied. It
Yeah.
depends on which angle you're coming at him from. So when you're looking at Kang from that angle, you can store him at any point. He's fine. I like the fact that he came out and what you call it when he came out at the end of Loki, and I was like,
Yep.
oh, this is Kang. I was feeling that. I was like, I can see this man being in the movies, and of course he's gonna have the lead role.
So
So
I actually saw Kevin Feige said that phase 4 and phase 4, 5, and 6 has to be on someone's shoulders. So like phase 1, 2, and 3 was on Iron Man's shoulders pretty much the whole time. A lot of stuff
yeah, of
was based
course.
around him, and the villains were based around him, the superheroes were based around him. But this time they're going a different route, and they're Jonathan Majors is the guy that that Kevin Feige has basically said, I want you to carry this multiverse saga. This is your saga to carry on your back and make happen. And pretty much everything is leading up to Kang being revealed in one way, shape, or form, and in many ways, shapes, and forms. Because Kang
Yeah,
is many people. And
yeah,
like that's the hardest part to wrap your head around with all this. And like every time I talk multiverse, I always talk the CW Flash. The Flash did a
yes,
phenomenal job breaking down the multiverse for its viewers.
yes.
The DCEU completely failed at that, and Marvel's been struggling with it because
Hmm.
it's not a long drawn out TV show. It's trying to establish all of this within movies, within snippets of time, and across many different heroes. And that's not easy to do. So that's why Marvel's been struggling, in my opinion.
You
It's
see,
not,
look,
it's the hardest part of comic book movies.
it's like when you have like an organization where the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. And this is what
Exactly.
exactly goes on in Disney and Marvel all the time. I say this as a perfect example because it's real simple. You got to get people that know the source material no matter what. Whether you decide to use the source material or not is irrelevant, but
Yep.
know what you're doing. It's like
Exactly.
if I was a paint restorer and you gave me a Picasso, but I have no experience in restoring older paintings, but you're giving it to me. Just like with the Rings of Power. That's why the Rings of Power did so bad. Because you need people that know what they're doing. They're industry people,
Yep.
We're industry people. Ask us, we'll tell you. We know. We're the customer. I always say this,
Yeah.
we're the customer, we're always right. And this is the problem is that you give it to people that maybe they don't understand what they have. Maybe they're trying to push an agenda. Maybe both. Maybe just inexperience. But the bottom line is you're here to make money, and you're here to also make sense. See, like the way Marvel flows is there's so many productions. You
Yeah.
understand? Like so many people were trying to take a piece of Marvel at the time, and this goes back to the '70s with when they signed with Universal for the Hulk. I mean, the Hulk was what brought on Spider Man and also brought on I forgot the other show it was, but it was 3 shows. But got canceled in a few years. But now Universal held that they held the rights to Spider Man's future projects, and this is the problem right there. So now you have that. That's the left hand. The right hand's trying to do something that will coincide, but then you don't get the cooperation of the studios.
Yeah.
See, so the problem with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that it's too broad.
Yep.
It's too broad. It's in too many fragments, and the fragments do not line together. Okay, you can't fit the 2 square pieces into the
Yeah.
round hole. You gotta put, everything has to have its shape and purpose. And it's I believe like by phase 4, they were really trying to get it together, but you can see they were just losing it. It's too colluded. It's too convoluted,
Yeah.
and I feel like even with the way they did the Infinity War first,
Hmm.
but no one talks about the freaking Secret Wars. Now we're doing Secret Wars. This is the problem right here. So somebody like me
Yeah.
who knows the actual lore will look at that and be like, "What are you guys doing?" It's like you're going backwards in the story that don't make sense.
Yep.
Why did you not do Secret Wars first? How do we explain Spider-Man's black costume? Oh wait, how do we explain Venom? Because he's from another multiverse. You understand? Like,
Yep.
I get that, but I would like to see more continuity within the the actual context of how everything was written. But like I said, the problem is all these damn studios. Disney owns a good portion of this, so Disney, listen, you own a good portion of this. So make it happen. You guys own a good portion of this.
Yeah.
Like you actually own 3/4 of the intellectual property. You have gold mines just sitting on top of that. You can just make these things into money-making machines that can tie into future Marvel comic, Universal movies. Just work
Yep.
with the studio a little closer.
So I think this Secret Wars. I think this Secret Wars is going to be based more on the 2015 Secret Wars than the original 80s series.
Yeah, I
And-
definitely don't think. Yeah, I don't think people are ready to go back that far. But
yeah, and
just to remind me, I'm sorry, go ahead. My bad.
Just because of the like dynamics of the 2015 version, it was so much lighter in the sense that it wasn't this massive undertaking. Like I feel like the original version of Secret Wars was gigantic. It was huge. The Beyonder, like there was so much going on with it. And your fans that are not comic book fans, just more superhero movie fans, aren't going to know all of the ins and outs of that version of Secret Wars. And that's why they went to the Doctor Doom version, where it's like you have God Emperor Doom, you have Kang, you have all of this, you have Battle World. Like Battle World is something I really would love to see.
Yes. Okay. So my question to you, Chris, is this: would you like to discuss the entire Secret Wars one, the very first one? Not. I'll do it quick though. So
Sure,
I'll break it
go
down
ahead.
to you real quick because, first of all, I know both stories, both Secret Wars, and this was my favorite one. What I loved about it is that what you said, it was an overwhelming amount of all the heroes and all
Yep.
the villains. Now, at the time, what people don't know, this was done only because they were selling toys and they wanted to introduce what way to introduce all these characters and put them into one big story. But let's go back a couple of months to a year before that. Black Costume Spider-Man. What people don't know is it was a convention. It's a kid about 12, 13, just came up with the idea, hey, would Spider-Man look cool black? Believe it was Mike Zeck. So I'll buy this idea for you for $250, sign a bunch of stuff to you, give you your stuff, and he sold that first print for $13.5 million. So my point is this. So with the Secret Wars, what I really liked about the first Secret Wars was that it was completely all over the place, and it was very, very like all over the place. But I also like the fact that this is where Spider-Man gets his black costume. Now, if I remember the Doctor Doom version of, like you said, it was more lighthearted. Because if I do remember this correctly, wasn't Deadpool in there before Spider-Man and he did something to the machine and then that's how Spider-Man became like
I believe
he got the
so.
Venom costume? Yeah. So I like that as a lighthearted part of that because to me, Secret Wars 8, that was very essential to what. Without Secret Wars 8, forget the toys that they made the money off of that. You wouldn't have had the first black costume Spider-Man. You wouldn't have Venom. You wouldn't have Carnage. You wouldn't have had Spider-Man go through a metamorphosis to the point that it spoiled off so many different franchises and books from one story. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got them all back there. I can see it. Actually, it's right over there. Where is it? Secret Wars 8. Where's my finger? There it is, right there.
There's collectors out there who will collect solely based on the fact that Spider-Man is wearing the black suit on the cover.
That's
even
why
if
I'm
it's
telling
just
you
in
guys.
that little tiny piece of the cover. Like, I'm trying to think if I have any up here, but like there's a bunch of comics that came out during that time where it was Spidey in the black suit in the bottom left, the bottom left corner of the comic, and people love that.
Yes,
people buy comics just because it's a black suit issue, and it's like, that's crazy to me that people love the black suit that much. I love it that much. I mean, I'm a huge fan of it, and I love what it meant for Spidey. I love what it led to, and I love everything about that, and that's why I've got ASM 300 sitting back there, even though technically it's not the first appearance of Venom, but it's just like, it's such an amazing issue. Like, so much came out of that one 50-issue arc from when he got the suit to when he lost it and it became
Yes.
Venom for the first time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that is the whole reason why Spider-Man is who he is today.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, you see, they didn't tear down the original character. What they did was they added a whole new lore.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the writers back then were not lazy. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
these writers are extremely lazy, but I'm just saying you could see, like, it's one thing if you want to make money, but remember what they say. You never work hard a day in your life if you follow what you love. Like, if you're
Yep.
doing what you love, it's never work. It's your passion. Okay?
Yeah.
So if you're lucky and blessed enough to have a passion that will put you in a situation to live your dream, then by all means, you should definitely do it. But if you're doing something just for money and you know you don't have the soul for it, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, money's good. But at the end of the day, you didn't accomplish anything. All you do is just show up. You showed up for a check and then you went home.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be remembered for doing something? I mean, legacy. I'm not saying that you have to have a legacy. Not everyone in life is going to be fortunate enough to have one. But if you find yourself in a position to have a legacy, then think about it. Why don't you
Make it
just
happen.
become the legend?
Yeah.
I'll tell this to everybody. Talk about being a legacy, become the legend. That's what I'm trying to do.
Agreed. You know, like,
I mean,
yeah.
one day I'll reveal who I am, but I've pretty much, I've pretty much done a lot of legacy already, so it's all good. It's not bragging or anything. I'm just saying, like, I'm on a whole new,
Yeah.
I'm in a whole new journey now. I'm trying to do a whole nother legacy. That's what I tell all you young people, old people. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter what you believe in. Sex, race, creed, color. Who cares? Do you. Stop
Yep.
worrying about what everybody thinks and do you. I guarantee you, if you do you, your problems will disappear. Because once you start caring about what people think, you can get shit done. It's that simple. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a professional psychiatrist. I'm just telling you the things that I've done. I'm still writing some books. I got these books coming up, the Symbiotics 6. I'm going to be writing those out in the next couple of weeks. It's like I have a weird process. I got to go back to work, but my work is my place of solitude. So this is the place where I can actually sit. I'm inspired by people. I'm going to be working on some film, TV show. I can't ever talk about it. I could just say that when I do get a project, if whatever I could say that won't give away anything, I'll throw it on here every once in a while. So, this is the times when I'm gonna start writing, get my art together, and getting everything together. These are things like I'm
Nice.
doing things on top of things on top. Like I'm working and I'm doing another job. I found a way to work and do my passion on top of my other passion. And it's, like I said, it's not like everybody could do it. I just say if you have the opportunity to do anything like that, do it. Yeah, 80s for the wins, better translated to big screen. Yes.
Yeah. The 2015 one fits the MCU's tone, I guess, is the best way to put it. And that
Yeah,
doesn't mean they
pretty
can't
much.
change the tone, but
No.
and I feel like the tone has been changing. It's kind of I feel like it's gotten more lighthearted in some aspects, and then like there's movies that are getting darker. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Like you want to have
Yeah.
that yin and the yang. And
Of
I mean, just
course.
looking at the Ant-Man trailer, it was so much darker than what I was expecting.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I saw only pieces of it. I'm gonna go find it and watch it. I may have to do a little video on this one, but yeah, it looked pretty crazy when I was first watching. I was like, what am I seeing here? But then I remember I had to go somewhere. It's just crazy. My life has been nuts lately. Just been running all around the place. I got like I had a delivery today. I forgot it was coming. I got like 5 new short boxes of comics I went through today. I can't
Nice.
even do these shows. It will be too long. It'll be too long. But I'll take it out. I'm pulling everything and I'm getting everything together because, like I said, I'm also gonna be doing like packs. I'm gonna start selling like little packs, like 3 for 10, like really nice stuff. It's gonna be worth more than what the packs were. Random comics, and I'm also gonna be doing a lot of giveaways for Christmas. I feel like I want to be Santa Claus this year. I'm just gonna be sending out free stuff to everyone. I don't care. I'm gonna have
You get
fun
a
doing this.
comic.
Why
You
not?
get a comic.
Yeah,
Everybody
I'm not
gets a
even gonna
comic.
care. It's just gonna be like, yo, here, we're gonna have a raffle. I'm gonna press a button. Okay, congratulations, hit me up. You're getting a comic. That's it.
There you go.
I got all these boxes I gotta get rid of, people. So
Are
gotta
you
put some
doing
comics in there for the
Halloween
holiday.
Comic Fest tomorrow?
Oh, you know what? I didn't even know that was going on. What am I doing tomorrow? I feel like there's something important going on tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to do it. But I know I had some prior engagement, and it was really important. It's just slipping my mind right now. Like I said, been running around like a maniac, getting everything ready.
I
I
get
mean,
it.
putting together like if you would see the comic cave, like how it's all coming together. It's just so much. It's overwhelming. I hope I
Yep.
never have to do this again.
I get it.
I'm telling you, like I want to get another house, but I swear I may keep this house just so I can keep everything the way I put it. It's so much stuff to reset again. I don't think I would ever want to do this again.
For
But
sure.
it's looking the way I want it, like a museum type thing. It is what it is. I'm having fun. What
Yeah.
can I say?
That's what you
Well,
gotta
I'm sorry.
do.
I just went completely off topic.
No, you're totally good. I love it. But yeah, so going off of like the darker side of the MCU lately, I do think that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is going to be the first movie of Phase 5 because
Hope
Black
right.
Panther is the last one. I just saw that today on Instagram. People were talking about Black Panther and how like it's such a pivotal movie because one, you've obviously got no more Chadwick Boseman. Two, you had this amazing reveal from the premiere that just came out yesterday. I think it was yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Everyone's been talking about the fact that the actress who plays Shuri wore the same style as Chadwick Boseman when he was on the red carpet at the first Black Panther movie, as like an homage to him. And everyone's saying that this movie is absolutely amazing. And one of the biggest things in the article I read was this is the final piece of Phase 4. So it could either be the final nail in the coffin of Phase 4, and people are just like, yeah, that was the crappy phase of Marvel, and it sucked. Or it could be like, this is where everything was building up to, and this is where everything is going to go past here.
Well, let's look who's coming in this movie. I mean, I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but Namor will be in this movie.
Yeah.
Once I saw that, it just got. I don't care what's going on. Who cares?
And he's the villain.
Well, if you think about it, in the comics, it depends. He's pretty much been the villain and the hero.
Yep.
It depends. I mean, I'm pretty sure Reed Richards thinks he's the villain. He was
True.
back in Sue Richards. You know what I'm saying? It's his Namor. He does what he
Looking
wants.
at King in Black, they did not get along. They were like, yeah, we're not going to help you out. Like,
and the funny thing about that is those creatures, those demons from the deep, those dark, they are pretty much the void. This is what Noel controls. They are from the void. Like, this pre-exists the symbiotes, but yet it's part of the symbiotic void world because Noel is the King in Black. It's weird, but you see, when I see things like that, I notice them, and I noticed that immediately. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I actually like how they did the King of Black. That was like one of the best stories I've read in the longest. I was actually like really into the story. I'm gonna just do a whole comic animation review about it again. It's such a nice story.
It really is.
Pull everything out, and I'm gonna read it, and I'm just gonna go through everything again because it's really like one of the best stories I've read in the last couple of years, and I'm happy with it. I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about comics today. They're not comics. It's just like a variant cover for they did one for Hispanic month, one for Pride month, another one for I don't even know leukemia month, cancer month, whatever month you could think of to sell something. It's almost to the point where I'm losing track of the months. It's like seeing Christmas stuff up in your local store now. You're like, what the hell? You still got months left, and then you realize, wait a minute, it's going to be November. It's just the world moves so fast. It's like everybody's on to the next one before they can even digest what it's in front of them now, like to just enjoy it. Like with me, I have thousands of comics I didn't even read yet. I'm gonna get to them, sort my stuff. I'll read a couple stories, having fun with it. It's my hobby. It's my passion,
And that's just the stuff you can see, like.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, you can imagine. Like, I'm not even like. Let's see. Oh, look at this one. I had this later on.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, Space Ghost from 1986. I found in this poll today, and I'm gonna bring it on next time I come. I found it in this poll today, and I couldn't believe it. I found a comic book that was called Big. And I don't know if you remember the movie Big that Tom Hanks played in. It was his comic. I was like, get the hell out of here. I was like, this is like so. And I looked it up. I mean, the comic was worth about, I think, $25 to $50, and I was like, wow, I've never seen it before. But it
Yeah.
was like crazy. Like sometimes I'd be finding like the most craziest in my own collection. But this was stuff I got today. I just been ordering. I was winning some bids on on eBay. I was bidding. I
Okay.
was winning short boxes. So I was just getting a bunch of short boxes mailed to me today. I was in comic heaven. I was supposed to be doing a tune up on my truck. No, I'll do that tomorrow. I was just sorting comics, going through everything, getting excited like a kid. Like I'm like, oh look, there's like 4 boxes of 120 I had to go through. So you gotta go through them. And I'm pulling and picking what I like, and it's just crazy. Like this is just my whole life right now, and I got so many more boxes I gotta sort. I have 24 boxes I gotta build. I built the shelf unit already with that whole 16. I'm gonna have another 16 next to that. So
Very cool.
I'm just trying to get it together. It's just like it's gonna be like I call it the cellar. I have a comic room that's just gonna be called the cellar. And it's just gonna have nothing but comics from wall to wall. I see it's just
Yeah.
never gonna end. So it's gonna have about I say about 6 to 8 racks when it's all said and done. What can you do? I love comics, man. Can't get
Yeah.
rid of them. I
You
want to
know?
sell them eventually, but I just feel like at this point I'm collecting and getting so many like unique things I haven't seen since I was younger.
Yeah.
And I feel like preserving. And when I'm running across the copies, I'm gonna start letting my collection go slowly but surely. But everything that you see back there, I don't know what I'm doing with all that. That's staying with me. I mean, I'm
Same.
gonna have to
Like,
build. I'm gonna have to build a mausoleum, and that will be the outplate. Like CGC is gonna make me CGC. Listen to me. Make me my own monument.
that'd be
Monumental
sweet.
CGC, where everything's covered by the CGCs.
That'd be kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah, definitely. Those things are staying with me forever. No, who knows? All I'm saying is that every day I got back here, it took me a long time to get, and it was all good.
Yeah.
It was fun, Every piece you get is something you remember. And I remember having these in boxes for years. Almost everything up there was in boxes. I got a couple things I bought offline, but the majority of everything there is everything I've owned since I was younger. I was collecting when I was a teen, and I was smart enough to start putting everything away. And I started putting away 2 comics. I mean, I'll go into a quick story. I had a fire when I was like 13. My whole house was burning down. It
Wow.
was a stupid thing. My brother set a fire. He was little, playing with matches. Nobody was watching him. This happens. So burns the house down. As the house is burning, I'm running into the basement where I kept my comics. But the paint bit was kind of like I had it in a dry room, but it was still a
Mhm.
damp basement. So I was like, okay. And I'm running in there while the firemen are trying to evacuate people, and I'm running out at 13 years old. My first like long box, like inhale and smoke. I don't care. Ran back in
Wow.
there, got my second box. No, but
What's
a
up,
lot of
Hoarders?
those. Hey, what's up? But a lot of those books, like that Secret Wars, was in that box. One of those boxes. So was that one right there, the Spider-Man Human Torch. That one. A lot
Okay.
of them. Like I saved them. Like I'm
Yeah.
stupid. Like I thought about it as I got older. But this is the mindset I had even though I was young. I was just running around with boxes of comics and just for years just having them in different places, but taking care of them and making sure that as I go along, finding deals on comics and start growing my collection to the point that now it's just like I absolutely love it. This is like the best hobby ever. It's
Yeah.
something that I feel like I'm very passionate about, and I feel the community's passionate about. Comics
Definitely.
Mom's passionate about comics. You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Now I'm gonna shut up again. See, I ramble. Wait,
No, you're good. I love it. Like I love hearing the passion that you have for this stuff because it really is amazing and like it makes me feel like I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? Like
oh, you're
all
definitely
of
not
us
the
can
only one,
say
brother.
like we're like we love comics. This is like our life, but like until you start sitting down and talking with other people and you're like I I don't know if I need to hold back my nerdiness or not, but
No,
like
let
I'm a
it go,
noob at all
brother.
this.
Let
I
it
have
go.
not been collecting since I was
Yeah,
13. I've been collecting since I was like 25,
yeah.
maybe a little bit younger. When I met my wife was when my collection actually kind of started. And we've been together for like 7 years now. So like all of this stuff I never would have imagined having. The Funko Pops has been something that she's kind of turned me on to. Comics
Oh,
have
I
been
love
something
them
she's
too.
turned me on to. Like all this stuff has been the past few years and like just kind of growing and growing. And I hope to pass it down to my son. I hope that my son and my daughter end up loving this stuff as much as I do. But at the
Yeah,
same time, if
definitely.
they don't, then I'll pass it on to whoever I pass it on to, and I'll do what I need to do with it in order to make sure they have a good life. I honestly don't care how much that 361 is worth in back of me. I don't care how much that Mary Jane Black covers
Nice.
worth. Like it's not about the money to me. It's about having really awesome artwork and really amazing stories. One of the
Yeah,
comics that I'm hoping to get back very soon that's been over at CBCS since January is the 9/11 cover of Amazing Spider-Man.
oh,
And
is
I
that the black
cannot
one?
wait. Yeah, I cannot wait until I get that back because it's such a piece of history.
Yeah,
Like
you
I'm
know
a
what?
huge history buff.
We actually have that one too, and we have it signed by the writer. It's
Okay.
the black cover signed.
Yep.
I have it in like my Pandora box collection. Next year I'm gonna be breaking out the Pandora's box because it's so many. Like
Yeah.
I forget. I'm pulling through it sometimes and I'm like, I have this book. I have two of them. I was pulling okay. Which Miles Morales Spider-Man is it? That's in the red. It's in the white bag with the red spider on it. Is that Miles Morales Spider-Man #1?
I believe so.
I have like 4 or maybe 8 of those in my collection. I was pulling them the other day and I was like, I have, and I started looking online. I remember like when I
Yeah.
first saw them. And it's funny. Here's a funny story, a true story. I bought those. You know why? Because it reminded me of the Superman bag when he was coming back to life, and I always liked that damn bag. I was
Yep.
like, I love this design. I just picked up a bunch of them. I remember I just picked up a bunch of them, just threw them in the box. Now I'm seeing these things going for like, a crazy amount. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's just a couple of things. Like, I'm gonna do shows on this because I'm just gonna go through it at random and just pull it. And I'm gonna be like, look what I got here. Look what I got here. These are things that I'm gonna be sending to CGC. It's just that we're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Honestly, over 1,600 quality books from the silver to the
Wow.
golden to the modern to the bronze to the copper.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah, and I was very lucky to obtain a lot of these books. Like I'll give you an example. I know I have at least 1 or 2 Deadpool #1s in there for
Okay.
sure. I definitely have that. I remember putting them in plastic, thinking these books are gonna be so hot when they pop. I did have the original New Mutants 87, but I traded that for, I do believe I traded for an old Amazing Spider-Man #87, the
Okay.
Quicksilver one, and I still have that one, and it's in mint condition, but still, I kind of have reservations on trading the Deadpool. I
Yeah.
feel like an idiot doing it now. But I still have to, like, these are the books that I have in there. Like, just a couple examples I could think off the top of my head. I mean, I definitely have a couple of Amazing Spider-Man 300s in there, maybe 2. I have 3 of them CGC'd. I think there's one behind me. Let me see. Yeah,
Nice.
you see that one right there?
Yep.
That one is signed by Tom McFarlane and Stanley.
Love it.
Stanley
Love it.
signed the cover, and Todd McFarlane signed the first page. I don't know why, but that's the
Yeah.
way CGC said it happened. So I'm gonna take it.
Hey,
But yeah, it's just I got this crazy
it would
books that I
suck if
haven't
that
even
wasn't
put
actually
in
in
yet.
there.
I mean, I have like a Secret Wars 8. I have 2 of them laying around my collection in the same Pandora's box.
Yeah.
One's a barcode, the other one isn't. And I'm going to be breaking that out soon because I'm going to be pressing those for the holidays. I'm going to take all my old books and I'm just going to start pressing them all for the holidays, make them all nice and
Nice.
pristine. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just going
that
to get crazy here.
SM300 is a 8.5 newsstand.
Nice.
So,
Definitely nice. Yeah, I don't know if I have a newsstand one. I
and
have that one.
it's
No, I don't think I have a newsstand one, do
it's
I?
not pressed, I don't think. But
Yeah.
I don't want to crack it. I want
Nah,
the
don't
file
crack
I'm
it,
good
leave
with
it.
it. Yeah. If I
Listen,
ever
if
want
you're
to
happy
upgrade,
with the
I'll
grade,
upgrade.
yeah. If you're
Yeah.
happy with what you got, then you're happy with what you got. That's great. Don't even worry about it. I'm not cracking anything. I mean,
Yeah.
anything up there, I'm just leaving. Could I bring up like that? I think my sequel was up there as a 7.5. Yeah. Could I crack it and press it into an 8? Easily. I could do it. But I'm just gonna leave. I got other ones
Mhm.
that are already out and loose that before I set that in, I wasn't really pressing like I am now.
Yeah.
But now that I know how to press, which is another thing I want to share, I'm going to show you guys how to press comics. This is going to be very easy to learn. It's nothing to do. Okay. I mean, there are certain techniques that become more advanced, like removing the stains and water stains. And I'm going to be
Mhm.
learning that I have a couple of people I follow on Instagram. This other guy I follow, his name is Love My Comics, and he does amazing work. I don't know if you guys have him on Instagram, but look him up. Love My Comics. This guy's great. He does really good work. So I'm going to be doing stuff like that. This is like the hobby that I'm talking about. It's not just about collecting the comics. I want to take care of them, want to press them, because my long-term goal, I would like to get my own label one day from CGC. I'm trying to work that out with
That'd
them
be
now.
amazing.
So far, they're telling me that the only thing I'm going to need is just to submit all my Golden Age books. That's one of the qualifications. It doesn't matter what. Okay, so I say this to you guys. If you ever want to get your own label, it's real simple. You have to be able to submit a Golden Age book out of your collection, but it could be any Golden Age book. That means find you a cheap Golden Age book, get it pressed and clean, and submit that. No, that's part of your collection. That's part
Okay.
of your brand. Is now he has Golden Age collectibles in his collection. I have a bunch of them, so
You're talking about the gold label, right?
yeah. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about Golden Age Comics itself. In order for you to become your own label, like it's like a signature series, a gold label, like you're saying. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a gold kind of label.
Yep.
This is what you would need to do, and that's one of the steps that you would have to make sure that you have some Golden Age comics in your collection. Silver, of course, you have to have that to the bronze, and things that make your collection unique that no one else has. Things like that. And I already have all that, so it's just a matter of getting in there and pulling everything out and getting it shipped over, because it's
Yeah.
going to be a monumental thing. I'm going to be doing that it's going to take me probably, I say, if I'm lucky, a few years. I mean, I just it's that many comics. It's not
Yeah.
even like I would have you send things into CGC, how you gotta categorize everything. It's a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
Now imagine doing this hundreds of times, and then you gotta think of the money cost. Forget that.
Oh my God.
What is the money gonna cost me? Like, I really wanted to send in my books now to Tom McFarlane. He was gonna be there. I was gonna send in the CGCs behind me, a couple of them, and let them crack it. But I mean, damn, with the prices, man, I was like $115 per book. I was like, wow, that's rough.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I could have done even 70, but I was like $115. I was like, I have to let that one go for now. But it's getting that crazy and expensive.
It's crazy because I knew someone who has a 9.8 candidate for a Hulk 181, and
Nice.
he's like, I want to send it in, but I can't afford to send it in. If I send it in, I have to sell it before it even comes back, just so I can pay CGC what it's worth.
Wow.
Because I guess based on how much a 181 is worth right now, well, not even now, but like 2 years ago when we were having this conversation, a 9.8, it was 80,000, I want to say, somewhere up there.
Yeah, I think that's about right. That sounds about
And
right.
to insure that was close to $2,000 for the
Oh
grading.
my god.
And he's
That's
like,
insane.
I can't.
See, that's the kind of thing that someone has to offer the service. Maybe I'll offer it. I'll come and I'll pick up your book personally and make sure that it gets to CGC directly.
Yeah.
I'll film this. I will curry your books for you. I will drive it there. I know the feeling, brother, because I have the same feeling with most of my books.
Yeah.
I have the Amazing Spider-Man 4, the one where he got bit on the hand. You know that one where he's
Yes.
got bit
Yep.
on the hand? Okay. I have about 8 of those. And they're not the regular printing either. It's the one that says second printing in the corner underneath the number. Those things, if you CGC each one of them, they're worth over like $1,000. I'm not sending it to them by mail.
Yeah.
This is the problem I've always had. Even with my pristine, I have a 9.8 Amazing Spider-Man 300. I was going to send to Tom McFarlane to have him sign in CGC. Maybe I will send that one. That will be the only one I would send, because I already have 3 more of them. But I have a pristine one I never touched. It went into the plastic. It never was read. It just stood in plastic forever. I checked it a couple years ago. It looked amazing. I was like, all right, I'm not messing with this. I put it right back in. But I'm scared to send it into these fools. You know? Your books disappear. Like, even today, I was supposed to get I wound up getting, it was 4 comic boxes, but the order was 5, and I didn't get my 5th box. And it's just random comics, so I'm not sweating that. But imagine if that was my Amazing Spider-Man 300.
Yeah.
You know what I have to do then?
Hey,
I got
you
some noir.
know,
I got the noir mask. I got the guns. I got the leather. Hey, you know what? Maybe I go as noir for Halloween. I got everything I need. Yes, you'll see. We're gonna have this
there
chat
you
on
go.
Halloween with my noir mask on. I know what I'm going as. You hear that, baby? I'm talking to the lady of the layer. I'm going Spider-Man Noir. She likes all that darkness anyway, so it's not soup. It's not Batman, but it's close.
There you go.
See,
You
there's a
got it.
great compromise.
I love
That's
it.
the secret to a great relationship, people. You must come up with compromises.
Yeah, 100%. I'm trying to look up how much it costs right now.
Yeah, look this up. I would like to know this.
So 181 is from 1970.
Yes.
So currently, with a max item value, $400, it's $35 to grade. Not including shipping, obviously.
Yeah, and not including insurance.
Yeah, max value for 1,000 is $80.
For $1,000.
Like,
So let's tack on 80,000. Yeah, so you're paying about you're paying
yeah,
$800 for insurance. For insurance. Listen, I get it there for 150. Guaranteed.
and like that's
150.
if it's like $1,000 times 10 or times 80. You know, like you take that 80, you multiply it 100 times, you're at $800. But like he was saying, it would be like $2,000 because of the insurance from
Oh
the
my
mailing,
god.
the insurance from CGC, like all of that. He's like, I can't do it. I'd rather
Not at
just
all.
sell it raw or hold on to it. Like I said, I can't blame you.
This is my advice to anyone who has a multi-$1,000 book. Hold on to it in the raw. If you can
Yep.
capture it solid, so be it. But don't submit that book. Please don't.
Yeah.
Don't take the chance of people that are looking at you insured something for thousands of dollars. I mean, I don't care who you are. You're gonna be like, what the hell is this person insured this for? Because it comes up on the any slip, the insurance amount comes up on. So UPS, United States Postal Service, and FedEx can see exactly what the amount of the insurance is on their end. So when they see something that's worth $2,000, I mean, it's Christmas time, folks. That's all I'm gonna say. That's another reason why they mail in anything. It's Christmas time. Time for gifts to get lost from CGC. You know, you got to be careful with these things. I've been lucky. I haven't really had anything lost, but I've mailed it in times where nobody was really doing anything, and I didn't have to worry about any kind of like events coming up or anything. But this whole thing, sending it in now for Tom McFarlane, and the way it's like 115. I can't. CGC, you're killing me. What's going on? That's with the discount. I'm like, what's going on? Why are you guys getting so greedy? I get it, Todd. I get it. I understand. You gotta make that money. Respect, my brother, but 115, man. Bring it down to at least 85, brother. We got a deal. I'll give you multiple books. Right? Give me a multiple book deal. You know how many McFarlane's I was gonna give him? I have Spider-Man #1. Which color? All the colors. It's in my older Instagram and YouTube. Every freaking one of them. I have those. Every one of them. The Spider-Man one, the Platinum one, the silver one, the whatever
They're
other colors they
beautiful
were.
covers.
I love them. The gold cover, the gold. Like I have the gold cover. Like I was scared to send in my shit to CGC when I had Soul Twice. He handed it in to me for me, and he videotaped it and Sandra Rosa signed it real nice. I was like, oh, this is great. He signed my books and then handed it over to CGC. And, I was like, oh, that's great. I wish I could have been on speaker because I wouldn't be yelling at CGC. Be careful of that damn book. But I got that back at 9.2 and I love that book because it's a gold edition. Like, I was trying to find them. And even back then, they were very, very hard to find. I was trying so hard. I mean, I think back then, and I bought it when it was out. I think that was $10. And believe it or not, I don't sound like a lot of money in today's money, but $10 back in 1992, that was rough back then for me. I was like, oh damn, that was like buying
I
a
believe
$50,
it.
$60 book. But I was happy, you know. I had a friend who owned a comic shop, and he goes, I found something you're gonna want, but it's gonna cost you an extra $2. It's gonna instead of 8, it'll be 10. I said, give me. It was $2.50. I didn't care. I said, here's 10. Thank you. I put that thing in plastic. And what's funny was,
There you
I
go.
never forget this because I used to have people come over the house all the time, and I had this comic, the Venom #1 Gold. It was with another gold comic. It was with the Spider-Man #1 Gold, but it was in a dark corner, never no light on it or anything. And people used to tell me, they were like, "You think that comic is valuable?" I said, "I don't know. The gold one could be worth about maybe $80 at the time that I thought, which the gold ones were thousands. I didn't know." So I have like it's like having a freaking Picasso up in your house and
Yeah.
you're just like chilling with it, like yeah, it's over there. But I like to have my collection. I do that from time to time. I change it up. That's why I started putting in everything in Major Spider's Way because this was everything that was spread out throughout the house. That I was just like, no, I got to condense everything down.
Yeah.
Didn't help any because this is everything I could just fit in here. I can't fit anything else. And that's a great feeling when you're looking for space. I'm like, where am I going to find the next thing to shove something in? I just don't have space.
My
But it's
tattoo
all good.
artist has a separate rider on his house for insurance,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just so that way it covers a total loss for all of his collectibles. And he goes,
Oh
and it
yeah.
technically wouldn't even cover the total loss. It would just get me new stuff.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe that. Do you
Yeah.
know
They
Ken
won't count.
Wheaton, the artist?
Heard of Ken Wheaton? Yes.
So he did
Yes.
like Garfield and The Simpsons and stuff like that. He
Yes.
works at my local comic shop.
Oh,
So I
that's
see him
cool.
like every week when I go there. And he did Mary Jane, this right here. This is his
Yeah.
artwork. It's an homage to
Nice.
this comic here. It was just
Oh,
a
nice.
reverse homage. Instead of
Yeah.
Black Cat in the background and Spidey kissing Mary Jane, it's Spidey kissing Black Cat and Mary Jane over there like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he's like, my collection, I was looking at on CLZ and like it's dropped in price a little bit. And I was like, you don't need to tell me a number. I'm probably gonna get sick if you tell me a number. He goes, it was just shy of $100,000. I was like, hold on a second. Your collection dropped in price $100,000 and you're not phased by that? Like shit.
Well, that could have just been, for all we know, one book.
Yeah.
So that one book dropped. It's like, oh, but the rest of them could be fine. I mean, because I've been looking at
Exactly.
this. I think Spider-Man was hot for a while. And Amazing Spider-Man 1, I've been following that book. That's a chase of people. I have a couple of offers and deals I could have made on one, but I kind of let it go. I can still do it soon, but it's all about getting that extra paper because I need one of those for the layer. I mean, I definitely want to get one CGC'd. But I noticed the price is slowly starting to come down, and it's usually like that for comics. Like when there's no movies going on and no hype, no TV shows,
Yep.
this is the best time to buy comics. There's a season. The fall to the winter is the best time to buy them.
Yeah.
I'm always getting comics by my birthday, which is the end of January. So I think whenever Kangs looking for get back, and these okay may have taken
Ooh, I
time
like
travel
that.
device. Yes, that can make sense. Would that be a
I
great way
like
to
that
cross
theory.
over? That actually makes sense. See, this is what I'm trying to explain to you guys at Marvel. You don't need writers. You have them all over the internet. Thousands of people who will write they know the source material. They don't want
Yeah.
you. Do you know the source material? They'll be insulted if you ask such nonsense. We have great talent. That's why I like this community because the community has talented people. You know, whether you're observant and you can see something and criticize it for what it truly is without being born into the fanfare of it, negative, positive, either way. That's what you need to develop when it comes to like having a good eye for like comics and stuff. I feel like there's certain comics that will never pop, but there's certain comics that you never
Yeah.
know. And that's what's cool about being a collector. Sometimes they pop and sometimes they flop, but it's all good because at the end of the
Exactly.
day, even the flops they still got. I don't care. I was looking at all the comics I got today. I was like, Jesus, this is like a lifetime of stuff. I gotta get it organized before I die one day because it's just too much. Like if anybody came in here today, they would be like, we wouldn't know what to do with this. But you, even not being a comic book collector, if you go up and you look at that wall, you go, there's something special going on in this fucking thing. Look at this. The guy got things hanging on the wall. Exactly. There's a reason for that, you know. And I'm just gonna keep collecting. I'm never gonna stop. I've been doing it since I was about 13, maybe younger. I think I think I've been collecting actually since I was like 9 or 10 years old. I don't even know how it happened. I think one day we were playing with baseball cards, so I probably shredded a DiMaggio that day. Who knows? We used to put them in the back of our spokes and just destroy them. That's why they're worth so much money. And who knows? I probably had one of those cards. And I remember I traded a card for my first comic. And it was Amazing Spider-Man number 10. This kid got it from his uncle for $5, and he wanted to trade me a card for it. And I still got that thing. The first appearance of the Enforcers. And I'll tell you, I pulled it out. I did a video on it a while back. I pulled it out, and I'm like, you know what? This is the oldest thing I own. My very first comic I still have. And like you said, it ain't worth as much as an Amazing Spider-Man 1, but it's still worth anywhere from $800 to $3,000. I don't want to send that thing in. That's my childhood. It's been with me forever. It's always been there. It's like I had separation anxiety when I sent in my whole Venom set. I was like, oh my God, please send me back my Venom set, please. And then I had the same thing when I sent in my second Venom set because I had a bunch of Venom Lethal Protector number 1s that was that I got signed by San Rosa that were all barcodes, all of them. And I bought that from a Walmart. Like, I think I found them in the end of '92. Like, Walmart's a funny place to find comics. They're not up where I live up in the East Coast. They're very hard to find anything here. But back in the day, I used to travel out to like the Walmarts in Long Island, and I had to dig and dig and dig and dig, and I found 10 pristine Venoms that somebody put in the back. They may have forgot about throughout the year. They were pristine. I mean, the guy had them in between 2 other like magazines. Like he had the magazines lapping over them. So like the magazine, like from the front to the back was overlapped. I said, what is this? And I pulled it. I was like, oh, 10 beautiful, perfect, pristine Venom number 1s. I grabbed those things. I was begging them, give me a paper bag. I don't want to touch it. I was using like I was carrying it like an infant. Like I was carrying it like they were looking at me like this guy's nuts. I'm like, no, I know what these things are gonna be worth one day. The all barcode edition, because people were thinking about buying them back then. But I had a feeling like everybody was. I bought both, but I was like, no barcodes. People were like, no barcodes. That's the old thing. I was like, listen, these are newsstand editions. Do you not know what this means? Because I used to see guys from the East Coast where I live. They used to come at nighttime. They used to come take the comics. They used to throw them away. I used to get those too. They used to cut them. They used to do all kinds of things to them. And I noticed something. I asked one day, I said, hey, man, give me some comics. I'll pay you some money. So I started getting some of these classic comics, and they weren't destroyed. But the guy told me, he goes, you know why we destroy these, right? I go, no, why? He said, because the store gets the money back for them, but they got to be destroyed in order for the store to get the credit.
You have to rip the cover off.
He said, but think about that. How rare does that make that comic then? And I was like, oh. And he put that inside of my head when I was a little kid. And I always say this barcodes in the wild. I don't give a shit what it is. You see a barcode, you grab it up. You grab it up because these things are irreplaceable. They're more rarer than the multi-printed comics. And don't get me wrong, I love the Spider-Man heads and all that stuff. But when I see a McFarlane Spider-Man and it's got the barcode, I'm like, oh, yes, jackpot. I think this is the culture of comics that a lot of people may not know. And if you didn't know, you learned something tonight.
Definitely.
Good.
And on that note, I'm signing off for tonight. And Spurs, I hope you have a great rest of your night, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to try, man. I think I'm going to just be sorting comics for the rest of the night like usual. That's all I do. That's all I do. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. I still got time to make video for all you guys. I love you guys. Thanks for having us, man.
Have a
Peace
good
and
one.
love,
Thanks
everyone.
for coming.
You too, my brother.
Take care, fam.